Today we're going to take a short hike. Short Hike is an adventure game that has got a lot of similarities to Firewatch. It is basically a walking simulator where you're just trying to get to the top of a hill so that you can call your mom, because there's no cell reception at the lake that you're at. Its graphics remind me of a pretty good looking PS1 game, and I think it's pretty fun. Short Hike has what I would describe as a very video game story. You're given a really simple task, reach the top of Hawk Peak, and then the player gets distracted with a whole bunch of side quests and minigames which can help you along the way, but are completely optional. You can even keep playing to finish the side quests that you missed after you've basically done your goal, because once you're done, you can just take a nap and that ends the game. It's really a lot of fun. There are a lot of characters in this. There's a lot of charm to the game. Each character greets you and has something to say. Not all of them will give you something to do in the game. Some just want you to go and meet them in another location. It's pretty cool to just wander around this little lake and see what's going on and talk to the different people. And it kind of helps that this feels a little bit like an Animal Crossing spin-off, because everyone is an anthropomorphic animal in some way. It's really enjoyable. So the game starts with you being by the lake, and you want to call your mom, but there's no cell service, and your aunt says, well, you need to climb up to Hawk Peak in order to get cell service. It's great. It reminds me of when I go up north to my hunting cabin in Michigan, and you don't get cell service if you're in the cabin. You have to either climb up to the top of a hill, or you have to drive like an hour to get out of the woods so that you can get cell reception. It's pretty fun. Thankfully, in this game, you don't have to deal with hundreds of thousands of bugs that want to kill you. Or at least it seems that way. And there are no wild animals here that are trying to eat you, or can eat you. It's just a lot of fun to go through this. The story is pretty great, and I just like how simple everything is. This is a very relaxing game. There are no enemies to fight. Everything is geared towards helping other people in this game. You're making new friends, you're exploring a map, you're playing through a few little mini games. It just made me feel happy to play this. The gameplay is really simple. There are a few actions that you can do, like jump, you can glide, climb. You can do parkour, but I did not do that little side quest. You can also dig, and then you can break rocks as well. There might be other actions, but I just didn't find them when I was playing through this. Some of these actions require you to find, buy, or trade for items. These include shovels, pickaxes, and golden feathers. You also collect money as you wander throughout the park, which feels a little odd, like people are just leaving money laying around, but maybe that happens in other parks. Doesn't really happen in the ones that I've gone through, but hey, whatever. Out of all the items in the game, the golden feathers are the ones that are really important. These kind of act as a stamina meter. They allow you to do multiple jumps. They also allow you to climb different things. So, yeah, they're super important. And once you get to the snow level, it becomes really important to just kind of keep an eye on them, because as the weather gets colder, your little golden feathers will freeze, and then you need to find like a hot spring or a fire in order to warm yourself back up and be able to use more of your different abilities like jumping and flying. The game has a really large area for you to explore, which is great. During my first playthrough, I don't think I saw everything. It took me about an hour to get through this, and if I had thoroughly explored it, it probably would have been 2. But yeah, I missed a lot of stuff. It is a lot of fun to go through this game, to just see what's out there. All the items are pretty easy to see. It's just an easy and wonderful game to play. Most of the graphics in the game are really great. This reminds me of a PS1 game from like the late 1990s or the early 2000s. Once you reach the top of Hawk Peak, that's when the game gets really cool looking, because they do this whole Northern Lights thing, and I just really love the look of it. It's easy to tell where you need to go. The paths and the signs will lead you exactly to where you're supposed to be or where you want to be. They tell you the different locations. It's just really easy to get around in this. You can see the hidden items fairly well. Stuff kind of sparkles and that draws your attention. It's just a fun game to play. The only thing that I had a problem with was the camera, and this only happened a few times. It sometimes had a mind of its own, and it would position itself in sort of unhelpful ways, and a lot of the just obstructions, I should say, got a little bit annoying. It isn't the worst camera that I've ever seen, but I would have liked to have more control over it, just so you could pan around and see things a little bit better. Like I said, once you reach Hawk Peak, the visuals get really good. It just looks like you're staring at the Northern Lights. It's awesome. I love it. And, you have a little moment here where your character calls her mom, and yeah, it's just kind of fun. It's just a really great game that has this very simple goal, and it's just really cool. Overall, I like the way the game looks. It was just really relaxing to wander through it. Everything looked pretty good. Just that one instance with the camera where I thought it was kind of annoying. And yeah, it does look an awful lot like a spin-off of Animal Crossing, or what I would imagine a spin-off of Animal Crossing would look like, where you just have this world where there's a bunch of anthropomorphic animals wandering around and everyone's just kind of happy to each other. It's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time outside when I was a kid, and I still love being outside now that I'm a grumpy old adult. This game reminds me a lot of the trips that my families would take whenever we would go somewhere during the summer. In Michigan, it seemed like everybody was going to a lake. Didn't matter what one, just every summer, people would go to a lake. And that was just what this reminded me of. You end up leaving a lot of your technology behind. You maybe didn't have a lot of video games that you could bring with you. If you had a Game Boy, you were just scrambling for batteries. And now when I go out on trips, it's trying to find cell reception to see if I got an email from somebody that I needed, or trying to get a hold of someone that I need to get a hold of. That was what I was thinking about when I was playing this. I really like the art style. Just the camera every once in a while was annoying. The gameplay and the characters were really great. And I just love how this is a really simple game with a whole bunch of side quests that you don't necessarily need to do. Short Hike is just a really fun and relaxing game. I wish it was a little bit longer, but at the same time, I'm not sure what else they could have jammed into this to make it longer. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.